Yo, hello everybody. Welcome to Hard Drive 32. It's Monday morning. Holy cow, my gosh, you guys. It's been a crazy Monday morning just this far. So, have kiddos off from school today. And so I was kind of getting that all set up and ready. But then, just on top of all that, there's things I'm doing in the background here, and I couldn't get it done before stream. But I bought those really cool smart LED bulbs, and I was hoping to put them up above me, and then be able to change the color of the background constantly and have some fun with that. However, due to Wi-Fi reasons, there was total trouble, so I got something called a power line, which more or less uses your electrical lines of your home and turns them into an internet connection. So that way I could hopefully connect these light bulbs. Wasn't able to get it done before stream like I'd hoped to. Been sick to have those colored lights in stream. But before tomorrow evening stream, I'll definitely have them ready. So yeah, I'll take a moment. I just rushed in here. I'm spilling coffee all over myself. There we go. And hopefully audio works pretty good this time. I think I've got this potato mic as good as it's gonna sound. I put on like my glasses cleaner. Speaking of, my glasses cleaner to act as my pop filter, it's for those that haven't done streaming stuff. It's the little puffs of air your voice lets out, having just something to catch it. Just like those big ball muffs you'll see on kind of streamers' microphones. You could use like coffee filters, oftentimes pantyhose or paper is the other alternative. And so this is my little solution, was to use this. So hopefully the audio is coming in a-okay. I equalized it as best I could. And yeah. Alright, so I'm really excited about today. I got in the flow last Friday with doing this 3D modeling, and I was really enjoying myself. I honestly would have just kept going because I loved it so much, but life calls. And so what we're going to do is continue the 3D modeling for our lead character, Val. This is kind of like just a prototype model, because what I'll be making is, the goal is to, 1, make a lead character model, rig her up, have her in Unity. 2, make an enemy character model that we use for testing purposes. And then 3, make an environment. And this is kind of stuff I've done in the past, but by myself, no. So this is a big old experience, and it's been a lot of fun so far as I'm getting slowly back into the process, the swing of things. And all of this is to go towards the Aspire prototype, which is going to be a survival horror, in which you're ascending a mega structure, like essentially something greater than even a skyscraper. Mega structures are like the Burj Khalifa in Dubai, which straight up has its own, has multiple malls, has a theme park inside of it, has a ski slope inside of it, has gardens, has pools, has an aquarium inside of it, has all sorts of crazy things within this structure. And I thought it would be really cool to do a survival horror inside of one of these structures and kind of mix Die Hard with aliens and see what we get out of it. A little Resident Evil as well. So, let's switch over here, and I will pop open Val. Dun, 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 dun. By the way, I switched over to OBS, which has honestly been great. Boy, that's ironic. It's been great so far, then misclicks things. But I do plan to do a little bit more work here and there just to make sure that OBS is working okay. Because I've lost some things like my beginning scene transition. I plan to bring them back. Alright, so this is what we got here. We got the a good portion of this character, the main portion here. And what I'm going to try to work on today is I'm going to finish up the boots, and begin on the jacket. And hopefully we'll have essentially everything neck down to be kind of the goal here. So without further ado, you fine folks, let's go. And I even just like between the streams. So last stream I talked about how I wasn't too happy with this bit of extra geometry here. I already think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna merge this here. So I do want to keep this like PS1 era. And there's no reason this geometry cannot merge. So we really don't lose anything out of the process. Ta-da! That's a little bit cleaner flow. There's things that'll need to be adjusted, but what's great is like it's going faster than I had initially anticipated, which is nice. This I'm not a fan of, by the way. Seems to be online with ant leg. Which I could actually, so check it out. You can actually snap to edges. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna snap to an edge real quick. Go. I'll be 100% accurate for the geometry. Ooh, what I hadn't considered was when I snapped it, maybe I snap to edge with keeping its X position? Yeah, so we're gonna... You know what I could do? Sorry guys, I'm talking to myself on how to do this here. The best method. Put that one into already snapped. Alright, and we can grab each of those. Bring them out. There you go. That's better. Now they're aligned, which is kind of what I wanted out of these epaulets. I don't know if they're epaulets necessarily, they look like epaulets. Epaulets is like when fabric, or whenever you have like a bit of fabric coming out here, they kind of look like military, just kind of like military ridges on outfits. Okay. Assume this goes inwards here. Oops, I got snapping still turned on. Snapping. E out here. And then this is where things will get a little more complicated thanks to those epaulets here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to extend them out into the X. Say the Y. Getting an understanding for the different dimensions is such a... It takes a while to wrap my brain around it. Okay, I'll do this. Let's see if this works out. Actually, if I'm going to do that, it's a good idea for me to also extend this portion as well. There we go. Yeah, that's better. What? Why did you create a face there? That face might work. Oh, it doesn't. Well, I guess it does work. That's hilarious. It created additional faces I didn't even need, but I'm alright with that. Maybe a little bit of triangles in here, and that's okay. Triangles are occasionally okay. Let's see if I eventually adjust this part of our outfits. That way it looks... that it looks kind of like part of an outfit and not like cargo pants. Goal is to not make them look like cargo pants, that's for sure. But cargo pants are kind of back in, so hey. All the tech work kids are wearing cargo pants. Man, tech work costs so much money, it's wild. I don't know if you guys know. Let's move it. Yeah, tech work's a pretty cool little fashion scene that I wouldn't mind getting into someday. Alright, let's move these here. So the curious thing about this outfit is, as you see, the jacket is going to come in here at some point. So how much of this is visible? This rotate. Extend it out. I bet in the end I'm not going to need these interfaces because of the jacket, but we'll worry about that here in a moment. Let's go around the other side. Move this away. I need to move a little bit more. Need more space to work in. There you go. So good. As if I do. Yeah, blocks my camera. Darn it. I think what it is. Oh, I remember. Give me a moment, guys. I've done this in the past, and I want to get this right. You can. Let me turn off backface culling on this. Backface culling is essentially where if you have something that's like a quad, like this, a square, you prevent it from rendering the back side of it. So you're only showing one side of it at a time. Render material. There we go. Yeah, got it. So, there we go. Backface culling is on now. So let's rotate this. Or no, let's scale it. Yeah, scale it by Z. And 80. No. S, Y, X from 80. SX 90? S, Z 90? No. S, Y 90? No. I'll figure out how to flip this. This is rotate. Ooh. Bruh. Bro, what are you doing, bro? Made it disappear. Oh, guys, I'm so silly. My brain. You guys go. Sorry, that was silly of me. I should have known better. I was scaling by 180 when what I really want to do is just scale by -1. My brain malfunctioning there. There we go. Yeah, perfect. So now what happens is when I view it from one side, you don't see the other side. Oh, man, that's what I intended to do. Where I'd messed that up so bad. Let's save here. Alright. Continuing. Okay. In order to make this a little more rounded, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this calf down here. It's hair. move on to the boot. I think I want to get most of the front view done before I even mess with the side, because if I adjust geometry like that, I could run into some problems, to be honest. I don't want to do that. This is sides. Flaring these out because it's kind of it is like a knee pad of sorts. Let's see. This, just extend down here. The start. Let's give her boots a little bit of a ridge. Yeah. Yeah. Part of this is just the fact that my drawing itself has some flaws here and there that need to be adjusted. Which we will. And so about here we'll end up doing a subdivides. Subdivide. And we'll slide this down. Another one here. Extend. Feet. We've got feet. Look at those boat feet. Looks like a Kingdom Hearts character's shoes. Massive. We'll adjust this for sure. Don't you worry. All of those lines. Yeah, let's go. Down. Six. I'm doing this as I go here. This might be some Peggy Hill feet. Okay, these might be some giant shoes. I'm looking at the moment. Let's adjust a bit. She quite needs that big of feet. Yeah. I don't think she'll fall over if she has feet that big. This is a good sized foot. I'm no Quentin Tarantino. I don't know feet that well. But if it was Quentin Tarantino, I'd be like, these are beautiful feet. Oh my gosh, they're so pretty. But I am not. They're not my thing. Do is square off the foot here. Actually, let's grab all the geometry as well. And then SZ0 flattens them out. Definitely need to do a quick subdivide here. Just this here. So what we need to do is typically shoes get a little bit, they get thinner in the middle and wider on the sides, so that's what we're going to do here. There's going to be toe. And not clown shoes, so and then get all these here. Oops. By the way, I like to, well, I used to have more time, so I played Valorant quite a bit, which is a really good kind of like Counter-Strike shooter mixed with the hero mechanics of Overwatch. And they've done such a good job of keeping that game up to date and just like mechanically sound. And they're headed towards like another season of that game, and I just want to play it so stinking bad. Alright. There always can be more work on the feet, but let's move up real quick. Get to the head of things. And we'll fix our geometry here that's not, this is what's known as like an ingon. It's anything that's more than 4 vertices shared by a single quad or plane. Game Engine does not know how to interpret that. So you always have to either do a triangle or a 4-sided, or 4 vertex thing, which is called a quad. You can't do an ingon, which is anything above those. So we'll need to eventually fix that, but we'll come back to it. Okay. I'm really freaking excited to do this jacket. I think we get another quad out of this neck here, so let's do this here. And then we'll go back. Oh, hi, Leon.
I just find you in here.
You did find me here. Can you say, let's say, come on up here, little boy.
I want
Look, you're on screen. What is all these lights? Can you say hi? Hi, sweet boy on camera. Kissing on camera. Love you. You goofball. Alright, let's get you to Grandma. And I'll come play with you in just a tiny bit, okay? Give me a hug. Give me a hug. Okay. High five! What a goofball. I'll do something special when you want to get done. Alright. And we're back. Also, let me check something here. I've been on Twitch.tv. It looks like I'm playing Hell Knight. That would be... I stopped talking only because my audio was doubling up and that was freaking me out. Let me see here. Video producer. The rush of this morning. It's been crazy. Oh, hey! I had it set to the correct category. Go me. Perfect. Let's continue back where we were. Okay. Yeah, so that was my cute little boy Leon, who is just 3. He's a sweetheart. He can be a monster at times. I had no sleep last night because he had, poor little guy. Like, I have night terrors, and so, which for those that don't know, it's a little bit different than a nightmare in the fact that you wake up and still think that you're in the nightmare. And so you physically move around to do everything you normally would, as if you're trapped in a living nightmare. It sucks. And he had one last night. Partially because he had such a fun time yesterday. We went to, my wife went to a pumpkin patch with him, and he played and he didn't get any nap time in. So part of the ways to have a night terror is simply just getting less sleep. And so I think him just not having his usual nap really kind of messed with him. Poor little buddy. Poor little buddy had a night terror. Let's take this geometry here. Extend it out a bit. Extend. And we'll just... So far, so good. Let's get the side view for that. Let's do that for a second now. One thing is I work too often with vertices, and I need to remember that I have edges as well, and that can help a lot with just aligning things really smoothly. That's something just as a noting to myself while I work on 3D. I think I'll put this better midway part of her hip. Yeah, this would be a good line to follow for the rest of it. So far, so good. This is an interesting bit where it's going to end up wrapping around right here. Let me do these side portions here. I need to take into account that her arms are going to be there. So. Maybe enough to help create, yeah, arms of it, or sorry, her geometry, as it were. Arms. The other thing, this needs to come out because she does have boobs. Right now she looks like she's wearing chest plate, not armor chest plate. The boob shelf, as it were. It's like a little bit like a shelf. Which I wonder, this might be a good opportunity. I'll come in. I'll go in via the Y. There we go. Don't want it to be too pointy, so we'll probably adjust that, but... Low poly boobs going on here. We come forward in here. It's something I'll play around with for sure. The nice thing is so many of these elements can be adjusted after the fact too. Wrap the boob plate up here. Something like that. I'm generally okay with this. And I'll definitely be adjusting. Once I get most of this front view done, I'm going to do some adjusting just to the overall profile of her. I can take things from there. You can tell she's looking a little lighter than I was thinking she would. That's something, guys. Don't want her to be a skinny Barbie doll, but she does have to proportionally look okay. Let's fill that there. Let's take a moment here. It's with the jacket that's coming in. Could triangle that off and then make that the side of the jacket, so that's what we're gonna do. And me literally just thinking aloud, but we'll make a triangle here to denote the end of that there, and then this line here goes up. It's going to be the jacket's edge for the rest of it, so. Okay, so we could almost like extend out. We definitely can remove, well, I'll hold off, but we can, more than likely, we're going to be able to remove those spaces there. Which is good. It'll be cleaner, geometry-wise. And the side view, though. It's down. Makes it look like this should be the edge of the jacket. If that were the case, I could create a triangle here. Through this flow. This would be a good time to use what's known as the grease pencil, which is kind of like a drawing tool you can use, and it lets you just kind of break down things. Ooh, stretch my back. Let's see. Thinking very hard. If I have too much coming up with the solution, I'll probably just step away from it for a moment and come back to it. Right now, I'm just gonna adjust some minor geometry here. Make her a little higher waisted. So we're so good. Okay, let's. Gosh, I gotta do it. It's terrifying, but I got to just knock out this. Let's check here. Well, I know this edge will at least be part of the jacket, so let's use that as the basis for what we use for the jacket. Think about how it flows too. We'll use this here. Here's what we'll do, guys. We'll start with this, put in rough areas where I think the geometry will be connecting at. This already makes me want to triangle off some of this. Because I'm one of two minds. Of one mind, I could connect the legs to the skirt. On the other, I could keep them separate. And what that would do in either cases is whether or not the skirt itself will animate with the legs. I think I want to keep the skirt mostly separate and only connect it at, say, where would be the end of the butt? Where's the end of the butt? Right about here. If I do that, at this point, I no longer need to connect it to the geometry of her legs. So we can dissolve these edges. You know, we'll end up like redoing them, but we'll make this a point where it connects to her legs. And yeah. Yeah, right. I think that's what we'll do. Decisions. These matching with the flow. I'll definitely need to subdivide that again at least, so that way it's around it. Keep going for a moment here. Just to match her. So this is primarily matching her rib cage. Well, as what eventually it becomes her hip line. I need to stand up straight while I'm streaming. Quite the back problems if I don't. By the way, round 2, we showed our kid Nightmare Before Christmas. He loved it this time. Yeah! Now I got a kid who likes Nightmare Before Christmas. The world is okay. This be a mess, y'all. This is a mess. Something we can fix, but I'm not a fan of how the geometry's coming together there. Adjust it afterwards. Right. Getting closer. Maybe a hole for what will be the arm, but let's hold in. Gotta create a gap. It's gonna connect likely up here. Oh, did it already connect it for me? Oh, thank you, computer. Let's see here. I can see this adjusting because it's important to give your arm enough geometry to play around it in space. If you think about it, the arm's like cylinders, so it's like duh, of course an arm's a cylinder, but I like keeping it in mind when you're working on it. Definitely, let's go ahead and smooth this line. Not a fan of how unsmooth that line is. The smooth tool here. Where are you? What I'm doing is I'm sliding it and also like snapping it to upper to C. Just give her like just 2 buckles here. One down there, one up here. Slide, slide. 1, 2, 3. Will I connect that? Yes. And that back to here. Here we go, guys. That'll be our point of connection here. Subdivide again, which it might as well be subdivided anyways. Oops. I think that's a reasonable connection point for those two. Ooh. So, for example, here's how you can tell when geometry's kind of bad. Check out this face I've selected, this orange one. I'm going to zoom in for you. Watch what happens as I rotate the camera. It looks like it's facing, out towards us now. As soon as I start to rotate it, it looks like it's facing towards us also from this direction. Which means that it's actually a bit inaccurate here. So if, like, for example, we divided the geometry here, see how that's much cleaner? You can now visibly see how it was turning both directions. I think that's what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go one less epaulette and bring her hip back in. I think I'd rather do that than 3 is nice enough as is. I could play around with it beyond that. Yeah, I'll be okay with that as a concept. And these can extend out. Connect these via vertice. That'll weld them together. Or should, what the heck? No, it's having trouble because there's the face here. 1, 2, 3, 4. It works out. Did not make an end-on. Cool, and that's going to let us do our own thing with this back. Kind of like, almost cape this end here. Makes her look like a queen bee, which was not what I intended, but is kind of nice in a way. Just because of, like, the insect-like concept. I might look into making her design more bee-like, very subtly. We have the other character named Crown. So it's like royalty. And we're dealing with like an insect hive with its own queen. It'd be interesting if there was 2 queens and a king all conflicting for their own ideals and goals. And it's kind of the general purpose we have for the game too, is we wanted that. Be a little too queen bee-like. Her butt. I don't know if her butt would be out like that. I have to think about how cloth would lay. I don't think that's accurate right there. Let's see your shoes. Those shoes need those boots need a little bit of adjustment for sure. Cool, we're getting closer. Okay. Let's see here. What overall things can we do? Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. One moment. There. Okay. Better. This bit of geometry here needs to come in. It's making our hips look far wider than they need to. I do think I should bring our calf muscles in. All of this and just a hair. Just bring everything in. The hips should be wider than the shoulders, but there's an extent of pushing it a little too far. There we go. It's reasonable. Yeah, cool. Alright, so I think, honestly, let's go ahead and call this here a stopping point for today. Because the arms can be kind of a big undertaking, and I do want to focus on them. So our next stream will likely be very, very arms and hand focused. We'll do a lot of stuff with that, and do the face, and then we'll do an adjustments as well. So hopefully next stream on Wednesday morning will be getting the arms complete, face in place, and then we'll adjust proportions. Before Friday, we'll flip her around, do her backside, and then probably do some final touches before we move on to the texturing phase. So that's going to be really, really fun. I'm excited because this thing's coming along. It's going to be really cool to have her in game. Be like my first ever doing like a 32-bit game character. I think it's going to be awesome. And on Tuesday, Thursday nights, I just want to tell you guys that I am playing 32-bit games. And right now I'm beating one called Hell Night, which is a survival horror set in underground Tokyo, kind of like abandoned subway tunnels. I'm getting towards the end of it, so probably tomorrow night at 9 p.m. will be the finale for it. Fingers crossed. It's a pretty hard game. It's like confusing little labyrinth, but I think I'm getting near the end. So once again, thanks you guys for being here. Like, comment, subscribe. Feel free to follow. I've got Instagram is where I post most of my updates, both like daily and just like progress reports. So check that out as well, and you guys have a wonderful day ahead. I'll catch up with you on Tuesday.